There's no mistake that the Avengers Infinity War took the theaters by storm and shocked its audience into another realm and back. With the converging of all our favorite superheroes, we couldn't wait to see how the events would unfold on screen. Chris Pratt says it's like a fireworks display, and Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, says it's all leading up to that fourth one. The events are so epic in Infinity War, it makes us wonder how the MCU can carry on. The film ultimately created some serious problems in the extended Marvel universe, including some repercussions the Netflix shows will also face. Let's dive in and see how the events in Infinity War will affect the future of our MCU heroes. Warning, this video includes major spoilers. But first, don't forget to give us a like and hit the subscribe button to be the first in the know about all our great videos.
Sometimes that thing you're searching for your whole life, it's right there by your side all along. You don't even know it.
STARLORD, grief-stricken gang leader. The Avengers Infinity War is what the last 10 years of MCU films have been leading towards, and there is nothing quite as fun as seeing all our favorite superheroes in one masterful, action-packed film. So that epic conclusion, as we'll call it, really has fans gasping for breath. Not once or twice, but dozens of times. One of the many casualties of Thanos' destruction is our beloved STARLORD, played by funny man Chris Pratt. James Gunn has confirmed Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which begs the question, with which Guardians? It's a likely assumption that STARLORD will somehow be brought back. It's a less likely assumption that Gamora will. Not only because Zoe Saldana has a bunch of Avatar films to do, but also because her death at the hands of her father seems pretty final. And after STARLORD's huge breakdown in Infinity War, which literally caused the entire downfall of Thanos, we're not sure STARLORD returning is the best bet. Of course, we want Chris Pratt back, but if he returns as STARLORD, the character is going to be a pretty grief-stricken leader. The other guess is that upon STARLORD's return, he will be so livid about Gamora's murder that he will seek unforgiving revenge on Thanos. Either way, we're not sure if STARLORD will return, but if he does, he may have to face the wrath of the other living Avengers, because he will obviously be blamed for their loss. This could cause a potentially serious problem for the third installment of the Guardians. Do you think STARLORD will return? And if so, will he create a serious problem for the MCU by being either heartbroken or just plain vengeful? What do you think will become of STARLORD's character and role in the movie?
I know I have to go.
The Guardians Diminished. James Gunn, we're pretty sorry, but you're gonna have your work cut out for you, and it may be because of the Russos. The Russos are the director pair behind the Avengers Infinity War, who ended the film in such an epic fashion. James Gunn is the writer-director of the first two Guardians of the Galaxy films, and since the Guardians are getting a third after Infinity War, there are some major problems that need to be solved. First off, who are the Guardians going to be? All of the Guardians except Rocket Raccoon and Nebula are gone, and as we mentioned before, STARLORD is largely to blame for the death of many of them. Of course, not on purpose, but his anger got the better of him. If they were all brought back, then STARLORD is leading a group that knows he was responsible for their death because he lost his temper. This creates another issue. The Guardians of the Galaxy films were so successful because of their humorous, slightly anarchist tone, filled with gags, rogue misfits, and 80s tunes. And the man who carries that lovable tone is STARLORD himself. So not only will the Guardians have a leader they can't trust, but also the tone of the film could potentially shift. As it stands now, the Guardians are made up of Rocket, Nebula, and might introduce Howard the Duck, or possibly Adam Warlock. Not exactly as epic as the first two. There is the other option that Gamora does return and the Guardians are restored to their status quo, but we can't help but feel that may be too easy to be true. No matter what route Gunn takes, we're excited to see where his next film will take the Guardians. What do you think will happen?
Underoos!
Spider-Man timeline. In February 2015, Marvel and Sony reached a deal to share the character of Spider-Man, played by actor Tom Holland. The move was a massive success, and Spidey was a main focus for the marketing of Infinity War. However, he's also become a continuity issue among the otherwise well-thought-out MCU timeline. Since Marvel is attempting to keep the web-slinger relatively useful, it's rumored that they are considering employing the Harry Potter technique. This technique means each year of school denotes another film. However, if this sort of timeline is laid out for the standalone Spider-Man films, it will clash with not only Infinity War, but also the Avengers 4. Spider-Man was first seen in Civil War. 2 years later, Infinity War was released, which means that if Spider-Man's story does go year by year, the events of Infinity War will not match up with Spider-Man's solo story. When the studios finally reached the deal back in 2015, Spidey was thrown into the Phase 3 films. These films are focused on Earth, using Civil War as a springboard, but Spidey doesn't really fit in past Civil War, especially if Marvel decides to go year by year for his films. Even from a thematic view, Spider-Man doesn't quite work post-Civil War because those films take place in a shared universe, not only Earth, where Peter Parker lives. Fans loved that the movies and series are all interlinked, but by adding Spider-Man, it can easily be thrown off. Despite these continuity issues, both present and foreseen, Parker was a major hero in the battle, saving more characters than anyone else. So if Peter Parker is the savior in Infinity War, what would happen if he wasn't there? By Marvel fitting Spidey into their films and having his own standalone movie, they are toying with a timeline that Marvel has built its success on. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I will hunt my father like a dog and I will tear him apart slowly, piece by piece, until he knows some semblance of the profound and unceasing pain I know every single day.
Yeah.
Nebula taking over the Gauntlet. The end of Infinity War has been described as many things, such as an epic conclusion and a gut punch, both of which are true. With so many of our favorite superheroes facing their deaths, it makes us wonder how the next films will unfold. At Marvel, it seems like the slogan is, "No one stays dead for long," which gives us hope that we will see our favorite heroes again. All the MCU films have seemingly been leading up to the Infinity War conclusion, where Thanos wins to our dismay. So what happens to the Avengers in their 4th installment? The deaths of 12 heroes causes some serious problems for the next film. But with the reveal of Captain Marvel at the end of Infinity War, we're certain that she may just be their token to taking Thanos down. It's likely that many of these heroes will return, but which one is the question, and how? Will it involve the Time Stone? Look, Nebula is left standing at the end of Infinity War with a deep hatred towards her father's Thanos. In the comics, Thanos' pride takes over, and he leaves his physical body to take on a metaphysical form, making him the center of all reality. However, this would also leave the Infinity Gauntlet behind, which Nebula snatches up. This could cause a serious problem if this plot was put into film. Nebula's hate may drive her to play a major role in defeating Thanos, but her possession of the Infinity Gauntlet could turn sour if she doesn't know how to wield its power, or if she becomes power hungry. It's certain she would reverse the events that Thanos created, but would she then want to rule herself? The possibilities are endless, and we're waiting with bated breath for Avengers 4.
Thanos and his forces have begun an assault on your world even as we speak.
Well, then I've got to get down there with the Avengers and take on this Thanos.
Thanos' strength is unrivaled. You will lose.
Marvel Netflix shows will be affected. All of Marvel's Netflix shows will be affected by the recent events in Infinity War. One of Marvel's hit shows that first aired in 2013, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has been slightly removed from the films, but according to Adrian Pasdar, who plays Talbot in the series, there will be a tie-in to Infinity War, and there should be in all the series. However, this does create continuity issues for the multiple Marvel Netflix series, including Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. To stay true to the film, when Thanos finally gets all the Infinity Stones and snaps his fingers, wiping out trillions of innocent people, wouldn't half the characters of these series disappear too? Obviously, it is unlikely that the series will kill off their lovable leads, but after Infinity War, it sure seems like anything can happen. Up until now, an occasional mention of the events in the films covers the fact that they all exist in the same universe, but when half of all life turns to dust, it changes things for all the Marvel Netflix shows. If they air any episodes after Thanos snaps his fingers, they're going to have to address what happened. Even if Daredevil and Jessica Jones are not present at the battle, Thanos' finger snap still affects everyone in the universe, meaning that Marvel has to deal with these consequences in their shows, and it seems highly unlikely that all the Netflix heroes would survive when 12 of the heroes in the films turn to ashes. Unfortunately, to stay true to the MCU and not cause this serious issue, the series are going to have to kill off some of their favorite heroes. Do you think this will happen?
Is there any member of a royal blood who wishes to challenge for the throne?
Shuri becomes queen. In a shocking turn of events, Black Panther is killed in Infinity War when Thanos snaps his fingers and half our heroes disappear, with Ryan Coogler's Black Panther standalone film raking in the highest grosses of any MCU film and making the list of top 10 highest grossing films ever in 2018 by Forbes. It was a shock to us all that Marvel would kill off such a successful superhero. He's a major box office hit, meaning we know Marvel will want to bring him back for more. However, with his death comes some serious problems in the MCU, even if he is brought back, which may be easily solved with our new favorite genius, Shuri. Many suspect that with Black Panther gone, Shuri will take over as queen, which is what happens in the 2005 comics created by Reginald Hudlin and John Romita Jr. However, since we're pretty certain that Black Panther will return at some point because of his major success in the first film, we can already see the problems that may arise. Does that mean that there will be 2 Black Panthers? If Shuri is in power, could this create tension between the siblings? Would Shuri potentially not want to take a step down and let Black Panther return as the king of Wakanda? Most people are certain they haven't seen the end of T'Challa, but with the setup in Infinity War, it sure seems like something is going to happen with Shuri. Though the two are extremely close, when power is involved, sometimes the good can turn bad. Do you think Shuri could turn against her brother? Or could her brother turn against her? Who do you think will be taking the title of Black Panther and don the cat duds? Universal chaos. Aside from all the issues that Marvel will have to deal with as a result of the events in Infinity War, there is also the realistic problem of ordinary people. You know, the people the heroes are trying to protect. When Thanos snaps his fingers and half the population disappears, that means a significant amount of working people around the world would disappear. This, in turn, would cause even more death, destruction, and chaos in the MCU that must be explored to stay true to the events. Infinity War showed us a bit of this in its post-credits scene, but the true reach would be catastrophic and in turn kill even more people. People driving cars, boats, and airplanes would turn to dust and cause more accidents. Surgeons mid-practice would evaporate and leave their patients to die a painful death. The people operating machinery would leave their machines running solo. Police, peacekeepers, and rulers would also turn to dust, leaving their people to fend for themselves against the crimes of the world. All this chaos would cause major problems in the MCU on a macro level, but it is also such a large blanket of chaos that it may be impossible to recover from. The fact that Thanos causes a mass genocide with just a snap of his fingers will have more repercussions than Marvel can deal with. That is, unless the heroes have figured out prior to Thanos' win how to use the Time Stone to their advantage, something very subtly alluded to by Doctor Strange. There is an endless stream of questions. Will the internet and cell phones still work? Who will oversee clean running water? And who will stock the grocery store shelves? Or will some of the fan theory predictions come true and the 4th film become a magnificent time travel conundrum? Anything is possible in the MCU.
We're all gonna die.
Do you think that Marvel will be able to survive their characters and storylines after this mass destruction? And what are your predictions of what will happen in the 4th installment? Let us know in the comments below. Give us a like and hit the subscribe button for more awesome videos every day. Thanks for watching and see you next time.